Demon Asura is a 1:12 scale action figure made by the Chinese toy company VToys. He's an original character who resembles an orc or ogre in Chinese art. This character reminds me of the PlayStation game Wrath of Asura, and I can see a bit of resemblance with the titular character's master in the game. I was curious about this figure, so I decided to buy it. A version with green skin was also released as an LA Comic-Con exclusive in November 2023. I like how the box has matte and glossy details, and it prepares you on what to expect inside. There's no cardboard insert or instruction sheet. The figure smells like lacquer thinner and paint out of the box, and it seems there was a lot of hand painting involved in the making of this figure. At first glance, the details on this figure look stunning. The face sculpt is well done and his armor parts are nicely painted. Asura wears a sleeveless shirt that's weathered and tattered in various places. You can see the rope or string detail on his belt and the studs painted in gold. His arm guards look like layers of armor fastened together and secured with a bluish-green rope. You can also see signs of wear and tear on the armor. I love this attention to detail that is consistent all throughout the figure. He wears a ponytail on top of his head, and his hair is white with a hint of red coming out from underneath. I love the way they sculpted his hair and beard growing out of his red skin. The face sculpt is awesome. We get a serious face with deep eyes and fangs protruding from his lip. He has a third eye on his forehead, and I love how they sculpted his pointed ears. Asura has a bulky muscular body that fits his fierce expression. Down below, the shin guards has the same design as his arm guards. I like how they sculpted the armor on his heels and feet. So far, the level of detail has been consistent from top to bottom, and this makes Asura a really good-looking action figure. Asura has a conical hat nicely detailed on top and underneath, and with a hole in the center. It has a string so you can secure it on his head. He also has a knife with a sheath. It feels tight at first putting it in, but should loosen up a bit since the sheath is flexible. The sheath and handle are nicely sculpted as well. The sword's pommel has an ornament with a dragon head, seemingly breathing fire. It's removable so you can attach the sword holding hands. The big sword's sheath has a cloud or fire pattern and has a string to hang it on Asura's shoulders. Mine has a tiny fingerprint at the bottom, probably from when this was weathered. The sword is nicely detailed with color separation from the blade and the fuller. It has some battle damage or marks. It has nice gold and black detail on the circular handguard as well. Asura's scarf is lined with wire for posing. Both ends are also weathered and detailed, and this adds realism to the figure. He has a black pot with a red lid. The rope detail is consistent with the body. I think this is a wine pot and gives us a little hint about the character's story and personality. Aside from a pair of closed fists, Asura has a pair of sword-holding hands, a pair of slightly opened hands, and a pair of fully opened hands that you can use for different poses. If you look closely, the weathering and marks on his right hands are all identical. This added attention to detail adds value to this figure. It's the same for all his left hand parts. Overall, the amount of accessories is sufficient, and it won't be tiring to be swapping out parts and accessories all the time. The detail is consistent with the figure, especially the hands. Despite having no bonus head and sword that the green LA Comic-Con exclusive had, I'm happy with what's included in the box. To attach the knife on the belt, you simply slide it into this part. Just be careful though, as it might break. The pommel plugs into the sword's handle, and you can hang it onto Asura's back with a string attached to the sheath. Put it through his arm and over his head, and that should do the trick. The scarf can be shaped and adjusted due to the wiring. I tend to shape the front bit first to make it more realistic and bring the beard out. Then shape the remaining ends to make it seem like it's being blown by the wind. To put the hat on, you need to take off the ponytail. Rest the hat on his head and tuck the string under his beard. Put the ponytail back on and position the hat as you'd like. To see the articulation better, I removed the shoulder and waist armor. Asura has a full head rotation with a ball joint. He also has side-to-side swivel. He can look up this much and can look down not a lot. His top knot or ponytail connects to a ball joint with a full rotation and a slight swivel. His arms can go side to side to make a T-pose, although he doesn't have butterfly joints. He has rotation on the biceps and full rotation on the shoulders. Asura's elbows can bend more than 90 degrees with a double joint, and this is how it looks like at the back. His wrist can fully rotate and has a swivel function. The hand joint is similar to SH Figuarts but with a somewhat softer material. Moving on to the body, you can take off his shirt to see the full range of movement. He has good side-to-side swivel and upper torso rotation, although he cannot do a full 360. He has a nice ab crunch and can bend back this much, which is quite a lot and impressive. He has a slight hip swivel without rotation on his thighs. Asura can swing his legs forward this much, which is quite good, but with limitations going back. Legs can swing sideways this much, but with obvious limitations caused by the trousers. His knees have double joints and can bend more than 90 degrees. The feet has a full rotation and a slight swivel. He doesn't have a toe bend. I managed to take off the shirt, which was very tight, just to give us an idea what it looks like underneath. The detail is consistent on his body, as you can see some veins popping out of the musculature. The black highlights or weathering, however, hasn't fully cured and may come off. This is what Asura would look like with the shirt off and armor on. The arm guards would be a bit loose without the soft goods, but would still look nice if you want a custom look. Red Demon Asura stands at 16.5 centimeters or 6.4 inches. In real life, he would be around 6 feet and 6 inches tall. Starting with some big guys, here's how he looks with Blade Master Weng from Maestro Union and SH Figuarts Spider-Man 2099. Compared with something smaller, here's SH Figuarts Bruce Lee and the Ghost of Kurosawa from VToys. Lastly, here's how he compares with Figma Ronin and Hemet Nettle. I think the size is perfect for this figure and is very much in proportion with other figures in 1:12 scale. The level of detail in this figure is superb. I love how it's consistent from top to bottom, unlike the other figures I've seen so far. The soft goods doesn't look bulky and is actually a tight fit. The way they weathered it adds realism to the overall look. The articulation is pretty basic as the figure doesn't have butterfly joints. We have double jointed extremities, which is good, and an impressive torso bend. This torso bend is useless though with the waist armor on. As with other figures using soft goods, this will limit articulation in one way or another. Despite the limits in articulation, he can still do a lot of action poses and look good while at it. The accessories are just the right amount and offers a lot of playability. With an impressive head sculpt and overall detail, I can say that this is a figure that I can stare at all day. I decided to bring him out for a couple of shots outdoors with Master Weng. It was cloudy and there was no sun at all, but it's nice to see how the colors and details look under natural light. They have a somewhat similar design aesthetic, but I think Red Demon Asura is no doubt better quality-wise. Let me know in the comment section what you think or if you agree or disagree. I can't emphasize any further how I love the details on this figure. It's something I haven't seen in an action figure for a long time. Even the accessories have nice detail and sculpt, and the design is cohesive all throughout. The only downside is the waist armor limiting the torso articulation and the weathering on his red body coming off. Despite this, you still get a cool action figure with options for posing and customization. I'm very happy with this figure as it fits the whole Ronin and swordsman vibe I was looking for. If you're looking for figures with a similar vibe, you won't regret getting this one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like, comment, and share as this will help my channel reach a wider audience. Feel free to leave suggestions on what you'd like to see on this channel, and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this one. Stay calm and stay zen. This is Al, and I'll see you on the next one.